Plarium stole our idea, and I love it. I'm so excited. Let's go over it and figure it out together. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. We have a special announcement in the game today, and I am super pumped about it. Let me scoot over here so I'm not blocking any of the text. So we have a faction tournament that is going to start, and I'm not going to read this all to you, but I am going to summarize it. So a while back, over a couple months ago or so, Deadwood Jedi hosted the faction games for content creators, and that was a blast. And Plarium, I mean, I don't know whether they're listening to me or whether this was their plan the whole time, but I was like, you guys should do something like this, because it was awesome, guys. It was awesome. It was amazing. And so this is kind of their version of it, but it's Corrupted Alliance only, which I don't know how to feel about. And also, we have to vote on which faction, and then they're going to set it ahead of time. I wish if they were going to do something like this, they could have front-loaded it and let us just decide what team we were going to use. But we're going to get into all of that. What I want to know is, of these four factions, what factions do you think that we should use in what places? We have to choose one of these four factions for each of the four main dungeons: Fighter, Dragon, even Ice Golem, and Fire Knight, okay? We have to choose one of these four, and then whether you participate, that's up to you. But Plarium, I guess, with programming and stuff, I don't know. They didn't say this, but I feel like they don't know how to do it, so they can just let us each choose. But I hope that they will figure that out in the future, because that would be cool. Because if I could use undead and you could use your dark elves, then that would be interesting to me. If everybody's using undead, everybody's going to pretty much use majority of the same champions, especially for accounts that have, you know, large rosters. But if I could use undead and you could use Knights Revenant, now we're talking, and that's interesting. Okay, but that's my opinion. So here's the breakdown, all right? So when do we have to vote by? The poll is active from 8 a.m. UTC. That is just, I think it's open right now. And then till Thursday. Okay, so Monday through Thursday. And then after that, you are going to start the tournaments. Like, they're launching the first tournament on Thursday right after the poll is done, okay? And then Sunday is going to be, so like the next 2 weeks, basically, we're going to have these faction tournaments. Now, all of this doesn't matter unless the rewards are good in these tournaments, but typically they are, okay? Typically they are. So Thursday starts Fire Knight. Sunday starts Spider's Den. Next Wednesday, Dragon's Lair. And next Saturday is going to be Ice Golem. I don't like finishing with Ice Golem. Nobody wants to do that. But actually, I've been enjoying farming Ice Golem more a lot lately. But that's just me, okay? And then in addition to that, when does this one start? Friday, November 11th. So that's that'll be in the middle of all of these. You can use champions from any of the factions in the Corrupted Alliance to do an arena tournament, and that is interesting, right? So let's take a look at the factions, and let's go over what my recommendations would be, but I want to hear your recommendations, right? So in Demon Spawn, I do happen to have a lot of the Demon Spawn. Demon Spawn are going to be great, and I think that we can pretty much do any of the factions with demon spawn, or excuse me, any of the dungeons. We have a lore, like, so in the faction games, when we did that as content creators, we had champions that were banned, okay? So I'm pretty sure Cecil was banned. I don't know if Allure got banned or not, but if you take, like, Kymar, Duchess, Allure, and then some damage dealers, I think obviously I would like to do Fire Knight with Demon Spawn. But I think for me, I'm going to choose the same faction for all of the dungeons. So Demon Spawn would be great for Spider as well. Obviously, we have Cecia. And then do we have a turn meter manipulator other than Allure? That might be a little... We have Skimfos. Skimfos has a sneaky turn meter manipulation. Okay. So I think that could be good. El Hades used Skimfos in his team, so we can reference that as well if we get that chosen, okay? And then of course we have like good HP burn with Tyrant. Like, I understand not everybody has all of these demon spawn, but I do, and so I think that would be good for both Fire Knight and for the Spider's Den. What about Dragon? I think we could just put some damage dealers in there for Dragon. And then that would be fine. Helicath and Duchess, your team's not going to die on Dragon or Ice Golem. So yeah, I'm gonna say Demon Spawn would be great. Now, on Undead, okay, I also have a lot of Undead, but not as many as Demon Spawn. But for me, I think Undead edges out maybe a little bit more for Ice Golem because of Bad L. We can set up whatever team we want to clear the waves and then put Bad L into solo. That's what I already do in Ice Golem. So maybe I will not choose that because that's what I already do. The Epics are kind of... like, they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. But I don't know if the epics are as helpful in Undead as you think they are. Can Undead even do Fire Knight? I'm not sure if Undead can even do Fire Knight. Do they have any turn meter manipulators other than Vlad, who you all hate, then I love? He's amazing. Tell me I'm wrong. He's amazing. So yeah, I would not recommend picking Undead for Fire Knight, because that would be a disaster, I think. I think that would be a disaster. But Undead can easily do Dragon Ice Golem. Can they do Spider? I mean, we have Husk. I'm not sure. Now, Dark Elves is OP for Spider. It is OP for Spider. You just throw Cold Heart in there. I mean, I have 4 Cold Hearts built. You just throw Cold Heart in there, and then Lydia. Cold Heart, Lydia, done. So that feels like cheating. I think if we decide on Dark Elves, we're going to have Spider 20, 15-second speed teams. So keep that in mind if that's what we vote for. I'm not sure that will be very interesting. But we know Smiley used Dark Elves in Fire Knight, and that was very interesting, okay? Dark Elves in Fire Knight, I think, would turn into the same thing with a bunch of Cold Hearts. So I'm not sure if we want Dark Elves for Fire Knight, but it would be easy. Dark Elves is going to be fine for all of the dungeons. It's going to be OP for... actually, I don't know. Dark Elves might just be too easy. If you have Zavia, Zavia's going to clear the waves really easily, or Foley can help, like, there's some, like, OP champions, but we have Zavia, Dark Kale for the waves, and that's a ridiculous combination, I know from the faction games. So I don't know. If you have Zavia and you want to do Zavia Dark Kale, that would be pretty easy. So I think that that's a good option, that a lot of people would have those champions, but if you don't have Zavia, then it's going to be harder. And then Knight's Rev is going to be tricky unless you have Theodore. Like, I guess we could solo it with Tomb Lord still, so that's always a possibility. I think that Knight's Rev actually gives you a lot of options. I think you're kind of screwed trying to do Spider, but you do have Drang, and actually, I think Theodore can do Spider. I believe that. But if you don't have him, that's a no-go. So for me, I think I'm going to pick Demon Spawn. I think that would be the most interesting, and I'm kind of excited to try that. So how do you vote? Okay, how do you vote? How do you decide what you want to suggest? So that will be the last part here. You click this details button, and then that's going to take you here. Let me put that on screen. Like to this, okay? And then once you're here, then for Dragon's Lair, you can decide one of the 4. And then you can't pick them again. So you have to pick, so basically, wait, what's happening? You have to pick one of each of them for each of the things, okay? So I think that it would be most interesting to do, I don't know. Let me pause and I'll decide who I want to do where. All right, I made my decisions here, and I don't know how I feel about it. I wish we could choose the same one for multiple factions, but we cannot, okay? So if you are voting here, if you choose the wrong one, you just click it, and then it will go back out, and then you click it and go back in, okay? But you can only choose one faction for each of them, so we're going to be doing each of these factions for each of these dungeons, but you can only choose one, okay? Now, I chose Undead for Dragon because I know that Beck will be good there, but I'll have to try a little bit to like clear the waves. And I don't think that I use Beck in that team anymore, but obviously he's good. Bad Alcazar, for those of you wondering who Beck is. So I chose Undead for Dragon's Lair. I want to do Demon Spawn for Ice Golem. I do. I think that sounds interesting. I think it sounds interesting. I don't know whether that will be good or bad or whatnot, but I think that will be interesting. And then for Fire Knight, I chose Dark Elves. I had to pick one for one of the factions. I've never really used a Dark Elf heavy team in Fire Knight before, so I thought that could be interesting. I didn't want to pick Dark Elves at all, but, you know, for a lot of people, I think that will be easy. And then, so I ended up picking Knight's Rev for Spider. But which dungeon will you pick Knight's Rev for? I am very curious. We might want to do Knight's Rev on, I don't know, Ice Golem or Dragon or something, but I didn't know what to put them on, so I did Spider, and then we can all use Drang and try some teams like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I will switch these. I will probably leave them. You tell me what you would choose, and there is my submission. So we're going to start on November 10th. Did I get the dates wrong when I was going over them before? Because November 10th is next Thursday. Okay. So we're not starting until next Thursday? I mean, hold the phone. I really thought that was not the case. And then we'll wrap up the video here. News. Did I just like read the date wrong? I did. Thursday, November 10th. This Thursday is not November 10th. This Thursday is the 3rd. So anyway, all of this will start next week, and then on forward. If you're yelling at me in the comments, my apologies. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm MtgJedi. I would love for all of you new viewers to subscribe to the channel. That would help me out a lot, and then we can hang out more on more videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I've got some fun stuff planned for this week. I'm excited for it. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I need to go rest. So we'll see you guys later.